Hi everyone, welcome back to Warren's Team Talk, and I hope that you're all well. And if you're new, I'd like to give you all a big warm welcome and hope that you enjoy your stay with me. Anyway, so thanks so much for coming to visit my channel today. Now I'm back today because I've got a brand new and exciting video for you, which is episode 28 of my series, England's Most Successful Football Club. And today I'm going to be looking at Preston North End, who are otherwise known as the Lily-Whites. Now, the Warren's Team Talk coach driver is busy getting the coach ready for us so that we can get on the road and get up to Deepdale to visit our friends from Preston North End. So hopefully that should be ready for us soon. But anyway, before we go, I just want to remind you all that if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel and hit the like button, and please make sure that you share the show around with anyone who you feel might enjoy it. It will really help me to make this channel bigger for you all and help me to be able to bring out some more new and more exciting videos for you. Anyway, yeah, it seems that the drivers just radioed through to me and is let me know that we're ready to go. So let's get on the bus and hit the road, Jack, as they say. But we will be coming back, unlike Jack did. So let's get on with it. Anyway, I hope that you enjoy it, and let's see what Preston have got to offer. Okay, everyone, so here we are, we're in Preston, and we've just pulled up outside Preston's ground, Preston North End's ground, Deepdale. So let's go and have a chat with them and find out all about them and what their history is and whatnot. Anyway, so here we go. Now they're telling us that the club started, Preston North End, they finished 13th in the Warren's Team Talk table, and they accumulated 4,135 points in order to allow them to do that. Now, they're also known as the Lily-Whites, and that seems to come from the fact that they sported a mainly white kit. I've seen some things where they all seem to be wearing like sort of sky blue hoops in the past as well, but I'm not really sure about that. Anyway, it seems that the club first started in 1863, and at that time they were linked to a variety of sports such as cricket, rugby and athletics, and they operated under the name of Preston Nelson. It seems that the North End part of their name came from the fact that, unsurprisingly, they were based in the northern part of the town. So that was why they were called Preston North End. And then since 1875, the club have been based at Deepdale, and it's now football's oldest ground in terms of continuous use by a major league club. So that's quite an interesting thing, isn't it? Yes, they've been there quite a long time. The club first took up football in 1878 as a winter fitness activity, which, as we have seen in previous episodes of this series, seems to be quite common when football first got started on a serious level in this country. And in May 1880, the club decided to focus on football, which was when the club was officially founded. And then Preston North End turned professional in 1885, and they become one of the first clubs to do that. And then from August that same year to April 1886, Preston were undefeated, and during this time they apparently won 59 out of 64 games. and scored 318 goals and only conceded 60. Now, how true that is, I have no idea, but that's just something I saw online. Now, another season worthy of note was in the 1887-88 season, when they won 42 consecutive matches. And part of this run included a 26-0 victory against Hyde in the first round of the FA Cup, a result that to this day still stands as the biggest victory in an English first-class game. So, yeah, I don't know what happened to the opposition that day, but there you go. Anyway, that season's FA Cup campaign also saw the club reach their first FA Cup final, where they faced West Bromwich Albion at the Kennington Oval in a game which attracted a crowd of around 19,000 people. Now, en route to the final, Preston defeated Hyde 26-0, as I said, in the first round, which is a record which still stands to this day. And when they got to the final, Preston was so confident of overcoming their opponents, West Bromwich Albion, in the final, that they asked to be photographed with the trophy before the game. The FA president, Mayor Francis Marindin, turned them down and said to them, "Well, don't you think you better win it first?" Which is a bit bonkers, isn't it? I mean, that I'm sorry, but that's just smacks of arrogance to me. Well, it is arrogant. I mean, it doesn't matter how good you are, you still got to go out and win the match and beat what's put in front of you. Now, unfortunately for Preston, they lost the final to their opponents by 2-1. And you have to wonder whether their opponents got wind of the fact that they'd asked for this, and they probably really annoyed them and motivated them to put in a really strong performance. Because I know it would do me if I was playing in the game and I knew the opponents had said that. I would have been really upset as well. Anyway, in 1888, they were founder members of the English Football League. And then the following season, in 1888-89, such was the club's dominance in English football at that time, they were dubbed the Invincibles, as well as the fact that they were unbeaten in all their matches in the 1888-89 season, and in doing so, they won both the inaugural league championship and also the FA Cup. The latter, they didn't even concede a goal to become the first team in English football history to win the league and cup double. In that league season, they also managed to score 74 league goals in just 22 games and only conceded 15 goals. This, when you work it out, equates to 3.36 goals that they scored a game. This, when you think about it, is an incredible feat, really. And they also, that season, finished 11 points of second place at Aston Villa, which when you translate this from the 2 points for a win situation as it was then, to the 3 points for a win as it is now, equates to a points gap of something in the region in modern terms of 16 points. So it just shows you how big a gap that was. In that season's FA Cup final, Preston defeated Wolverhampton Wanderers 3-0 at the Kennington Oval, which that match actually attracted an attendance of 27,000 and allowed the club, as I said, to achieve the first ever league and cup double. They went through the cup campaign without conceding a goal, and also they won the league title without losing a game. Now, this is a picture of their Invincibles team, so the team from the 1888-89 season. So yeah, it's an impressive performance, and something that's only ever been repeated one other time. Well, no, that's not actually true. There's been done, as far as I know, at least twice, two other times. Once by Liverpool, they remained unbeaten. And I'm talking about league campaigns. I'm not talking about doubles and things like that. In terms of remaining unbeaten in English Football League season, there's only two other clubs that managed to do that, as far as I know. One was Liverpool, who did it whilst they were in the second division, I think, in the late 19th century, and then Arsenal, as we all know, who did it in the early 2000s. So, moving on. The next year, in 1889-90 season, the club won the Football League Tier 1 title again, but this time with a reduced margin of victory, which on this occasion was just 2 points from rivals Everton. And then the next three seasons, in 1890-91, 1891-92, and 1892-93, the club achieved three consecutive second place finishes, with the closest that the club came to regaining the league title was the first of these three seasons in 1890-91, when they finished 2 points behind the league champions that season, Everton. Then in the 1894-95 season, Preston finished fourth in the first division, Tier 1, when they finished 12 points behind the league champions that season, Sunderland. The Lily Whites repeated defeat again 2 years later, when they finished fourth and 13 points behind champions Aston Villa. Preston would then stay in the first division until the 1901 season, when they were relegated to the second division, Tier 2. And in their first season in the second division, Tier 2, in the 1901-1902 season, Preston finished third, but unfortunately for them, they missed out on promotion when they finished 9 points behind second place Middlesbrough, who occupied the final promotion spot. And then 2 years on from this, in the 1903-1904 season, the club won promotion back up to the first division, Tier 1, when they won the second division Tier 2 title and enjoyed an unbeaten home league season and finished 1 point ahead of second place Woolwich Arsenal, who would later go on to be known simply as Arsenal in later years. Now, moving on. 2 years later, in the 1905-06 season, Preston would secure a second place finish in the first division tier 1 and 4 points behind the behind the league champions that year, Liverpool. The club would then stay in the first division tier 1 until the 1911-12 season, when they were relegated to the second division tier 2. And then in their first season in the second division tier 2, in the 1912-13 season, they won an automatic return to the first division tier 1 when they finished 3 points ahead of their local rivals Burnley to win the second division tier 2 title. But unfortunately for Preston, the next season, 1913-14, they were relegated back to the second division tier 2. And then in the 1914-15 season, the last before the outbreak of World War I, they were promoted back up to the first division tier 1 after they finished second in the second division tier 2 and 3 points behind the second division champions that year, Derby County, and 3 points ahead of fourth place Burnley, third place Barnsley. Now, in the 1921-22 season, they reached their first FA Cup final since their invincible season in 1888-89, when they defeated Wolverhampton Wanderers 3-0 in the FA Cup final and lost 1-0 to Huddersfield Town at Chelsea Stamford Bridge ground in front of a crowd of 53,000. After this, the next success that the club enjoyed, and next time the club enjoyed any success, was in the 1927-28 season, when the club finished fourth in the second division tier 2, when they finished 4 points behind second place Leeds United, who occupied the final promotion spot. And then 6 years later, in the 1933-34 season, the club secured a second place finish in the second division tier 2 and won promotion back to the first division tier 1, when they finished 7 points behind the second division champions that season, Grimsby Town, 1 point ahead of Bolton Wanderers and fourth place Brentford. Both of these clubs finished on 51 points that season and had to be separated on goal average, and the difference between them was just 0.019 of a goal. So there was hardly any difference whatsoever. And then 3 years later, Preston reached the FA Cup final again in the 1936-37 season, when they lost 3-1 to Sunderland at Wembley Stadium in front of a crowd of 93,495. Following on from that, in the 1937-38 season, the club finished third in the first division tier 1, and also they reached the FA Cup final again, which was a second consecutive appearance. And en route to the final, they defeated West Ham United 3-0 at home in the third round, Leicester City 2-0 at home in the fourth round, 1-0 away to Arsenal in the fifth round, 3-0 in the sixth round away at Brentford, and then they defeated Aston Villa 2-1 in the semi-final at Bramall Lane in Sheffield. And then on this occasion, Preston went one better than they had the previous time they reached the FA Cup final, when they defeated Huddersfield Town 1-0 after extra time at Wembley Stadium in front of a crowd of over 93,000 people. So, yeah, that was a great day out for them, I'm sure. And then the next season, in the 1938-39 season, the last before the outbreak of World War II, Preston lost 2-1 to Arsenal in the FA Charity Shield, in the match which was played at Arsenal's Highbury Stadium in London, and the crowd for that match was a paltry just over 7,000 people, which at the time Arsenal's Highbury Stadium would have had an attendance of would have had a capacity of over 60,000. So it must have been incredibly sparsely populated that day. And then moving on, the next time after this that Preston enjoyed any success was the 1950-51 season, when they won the second division tier 2 title when they finished 5 points ahead of second placed Manchester City, and they won promotion up to the First Division Tier 1. 2 years after this, the Tier 2 title success in the 52-53 season, they finished second in the First Division Tier 1 to the league champions Arsenal on goal average by the slimmest of margins of 0.099 of a goal. So that must have been quite a bit of pill for them to swallow, I would imagine. And then in the 1953-54 season, Preston lost 3-2 to West Bromwich Albion in the FA Cup final at Wembley in front of a capacity 100,000 people crowd. Then 3 seasons after the FA Cup final defeat to West Brom in the 1956-57 season, they secured a third place finish when they finished 8 points behind the league champions that year, Manchester United. And then following on from this, in the 57-58 season, the Lily-Whites finished runners-up to Wolverhampton Wanderers by 5 points and lost only 1 home league game all season and scored 100 league goals in the process. After this, the next success that the club enjoyed was in the 1963-64 season when they finished third in the second division Tier 2, but they missed out on the promotion to the First Division Tier 1 when they finished 5 points behind second place Sunderland, who occupied the second and final promotion spot. Also this season saw Preston North End lose by 3-2 to West Ham United in the FA Cup final in front of a crowd of 90,000 people. Yeah, sorry about that. My phone just decided to ring, so I put it on final. Silent. So, moving on, in the 1969-70 season, Preston suffered a relegation to the third division, and then the next season, in the 1970-71 season, the club won the third division Tier 3 title when they finished 1 point, a solitary point, above second place Aston Villa. And then 7 years later, in the 1977-78 season, the club finished third in the third division Tier 3 when they finished 5 points behind third division Tier 3 champions Wrexham and won promotion to the second division Tier 2 after they claimed the final promotion spot. And then moving on from this, in the 1986-87 season, Preston were unfortunately in the fourth division Tier 4, but this season saw the club finish second in the fourth division, and this meant that they were able to win promotion to the third division Tier 3 when they finished 9 points behind fourth division champions that year, Northampton Town, who were managed then by the legendary Graham Carr, who I had the great pleasure to meet once. Now, they also that year finished 10 points above third place Southend United and 11 points above fourth place Wolverhampton Wanderers. Then 2 years later, in the 1988-89 season, Preston secured a sixth place finish in the third division Tier 3, and this entered the club into the third division playoffs. but unfortunately for Preston, they lost 4-2 on aggregate to Port Vale, which meant the Lily Whites missed out on promotion that season. And then in the 1993-94 and the 1994-95 season, Preston secured 2 fifth-place finishes in the third division, Tier 4, but they failed to win promotion on either occasion, as they lost on both occasions in the playoffs. On the first occasion, in the 1993-94 season, they lost 4-2 in the playoff final to Martin O'Neill's Wycombe Wanderers. And then the next season, in 1994-95, they lost 2-0 on aggregate to Bury in the playoff semi-final. However, then the next year, in 1995-96, the club won the third division Tier 4 title to win promotion back to the second division Tier 3, when they finished 3 points ahead of Kent side Gillingham. And then following on from this, 3 years later, in the 1998-99 season, Preston finished 5th in the second division Tier 3, and this qualified them for the end of season playoffs, promotion playoffs. But unfortunately for the club, they lost again 2-1 on aggregate in the playoff semi-finals to Gillingham, which meant that they missed out on promotion again that season. The following season, in the 1999-2000 season, the club made up for the disappointment of missing out on promotion the year before, when they won the second division Tier 3 title by finishing 7 points ahead of Burnley in second spot to win promotion up to the first division Tier 2. And then the very next season, in 2000-2001, which was Preston's first season back in the first division Tier 2, the club secured a 4th place finish in the second division, and they then unfortunately lost 3-0 to Bolton Wanderers in the playoff final at the Millennium Stadium in Cardiff. 4 years would then pass until the 2004-2005 season, when they finished 5th in the Championship, which enabled them to qualify for the end of season playoffs. And again, unfortunately, as 4 years earlier, they lost in the playoff final, but on this occasion, they lost 1-0 to West Ham United. Following on from this, in the 2005-2006 season, they finished 4th in the Championship, and on this occasion, they unfortunately lost 3-1 on aggregate to Leeds United, which meant that sadly for the club, they missed out on promotion for the second successive season in the playoffs. And then 3 years later, in the 2008-2009 season, Preston finished 6th in the Championship, and once again disqualified them for the playoffs. But sadly, again for Preston, their poor recent form in the end of season promotion playoffs continued when they lost 2-1 on aggregate to Sheffield United to miss out on promotion. Then 5 years later, in the 2013-14 season, the club were playing in League One at the time, and they secured a 5th place finish in League One Tier 3, which meant that they went into the end of season playoffs. And unfortunately, on this occasion, again, they lost 4-2 on aggregate to Rotherham United in the playoff semi-finals. Then the very next season, in 2014-15, the club softened the blow of all these near misses for promotion when they finished third in League One, Tier 3, and qualified themselves for the end of season playoffs yet again, which on this occasion they finished 10 points behind the League One champions that season, Bristol City. And in the playoffs, they defeated Chesterfield 4-0 in aggregate in the semi-finals, and then went on into the final where they defeated Swindon Town 4-0 in the actual final itself. This victory saw them promoted back up to the Championship, Tier 2. And to this day, this was the last piece of success that the club has had. And to date, Preston North End are still plying their trade in the Championship. Now, the following players, I'd just like to point out, the following players have all had successful football careers after playing for Preston North End. One was Mark Lawrenson, who made 80 appearances for his hometown club between 1975 and 1977. David Beckham, who made his Football League debut in 1995 on loan at Preston North End from Manchester United. And then Kevin Kilban, who made 55 appearances for his hometown club between 1995 and 1997. And the club's most famous players, it's believed, or it could be argued, are Tom Finney and Bill Shankly, who are both commemorated at Deepdale by stands which have been named after them. And then other notable players that have played for the club include Tommy Docherty, Alan Kelly Sr. and Graham Alexander. Unfortunately, for this episode, I've been unable to find any all-time 11 Preston North End 11s, despite my best efforts. But please, 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 if you have any all-time Preston North End 11s that you wish to share with us all, please put it in the comments section of the video below, because I, for one, definitely would be delighted to see them. So what I've decided to do instead is show you a list of Preston North End's managers down the years, and I've tried to order them in order of their win percentages. And as you can see by looking at this, they've had some quite big names managing the club. David Moyes jumps out to me. He had a win percentage whilst with the club of 48.47%. There's Gary Peters, Simon Grayson, Alan Irvine, David Unsworth and Graham Alexander, Alex Neil, Charlie Parker, Alan Ball, and then John Beck, Vincent Hayes, Lee Chapman, Craig Brown, who famously managed the Scottish national team for a while, Bobby Charlton, Nobby Stiles, both England internationals when they won the World Cup in 1966. Phil Brown, the notorious Big Sam Allardyce, who's been in the news the last couple of days, moaning about fixtures and the playing of fixtures for his club, which, to be quite honest, I do agree with him about that one, but there you go. Darren Ferguson, son of Sir Alex, Tommy Docherty, Alan Kelly, Brian Kidd, David Unsworth, and the two at the bottom, I'm not sure when they were managing, but that information on there is not correct. I think one of them, E.H. Barr or William Siddell, were managing the Invincible team, but I'm not sure which one. I wasn't able to find that out. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that story, because I did. I thought it was an enjoyable one. So yeah, that was a good story. I enjoyed the bit about the Invincibles, and about how they not only were undefeated, that they went through an FA Cup campaign without even conceding a goal. So, well, sadly, everyone, that's it for this episode. It's the end of the show for today. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that you found it interesting, and you found out lots of new things about Preston. Anyway, as I said in the video, please, if you have got a view about what Preston's all-time 11 was, please put it in the comment section, or put any interesting stories you got about the club in there as well, and any other comments that you want to make about the video in general. Anyway, so that would be absolutely fantastic, because like I say, unfortunately, I haven't been able to find any online. It looks like a few years ago that Preston tried to do a poll of their supporters to coincide with their 125th anniversary, but I don't know if that went anywhere, because I couldn't find the results of it anywhere. But yeah, but if anyone's got any information about that, or anyone's got any all-time 11s for Preston North End that you want to share with anyone, please put it in the comments section of the video. It'd be really, really interesting to see what people are saying. Anyway, but please, before you go, if you haven't done it already, please put a like on the video, please subscribe to my channel, and please pass it on to anyone who you think might enjoy it. And remember, all of this is free, and hopefully it will help to keep you all entertained. Anyway, but more importantly than any of that, please, please, please remember to look after each other and talk to each other, and make sure that you enjoy yourselves, okay? Anyway, I'm going to be back again on Saturday with another new video for you, which will be the next episode in this, what England's most successful football club. So that'd be something to look forward to, I guess. Anyway, yeah, like I say, don't forget to share some kindness and joy and love around the world, and please remember to keep talking. And once again, thanks for watching, everyone, and please, please take care, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Take care now. Bye.